guys, it's me Rachel here with Senza Tempo Cane Corso. Doing a video for you guys. I went ahead and I let the dogs out individually. I'm trying to make sure that they don't run themselves into the ground. But of course Batista had to grab a stick and get everybody running. I don't want Belladonna running as rough. I don't want anybody running into her. Hey! Batista! He went after Mad Mortigan just then. That's a bad dog. All the way. All the way. All the way. Don't get an attitude. Up. So that's actually an accomplishment. I don't know if a lot of you remember, but I couldn't get Batista to go into submissive posture without physically having to put him there. So he's actually come a long way. Now, normally, like for example, Preacher, I would allow do something like that. Heck, even Velocity, a lot of my dogs I would allow to give a correction like that. Batista, I will not, because I don't trust him not to take it farther. That's why he got in trouble for it. It's not because he necessarily did something horribly wrong, but just because I don't trust him to just leave it at that. Structure. So, look at that pretty head. She's so pretty, pretty. Hey there, Trinity. Hey there, Trinity. What? Probably to poop. And he's pooping. Trinity, do not jump in my face. No. What are you doing, Nirvana? Come on, back over here. Would you good girl? Would you good girl? Yes, you are. Don't you jump on me, woman. Tell you what. Look, Batista's still staying down. Preacher's eyeballing him. He's like, what are you doing? So, yeah, it's a hot day. We're actually under a heat advisory. So I actually had to wait until the sun is literally out of the sky to be able to do this video. So, ooh, look at that. So, for whatever reason, the males seem to think that Blondie's going into heat, and she's not. As you can see, she just made it very clear to Preacher where she stands, where she's at. So, yeah. So, I wanted to kind of do a video about something that is more of like a public, advisory. Was that you making that noise? Did you make a noise? Huh. I heard a noise. I heard it almost sounded like a coyote. Huh. Okay, that was interesting. Okay, so, alright, so the deal is that I've had a massive influx of people contacting me for puppies recently they don't know about my channel. They're just looking for a Corso puppy. And the calls go like this every single time. I answer, and they're like, hey, wondering if you have any puppies right now. And I tell them, no, we don't have any currently, but we are taking deposits on our litters for the year. And they say, okay. And then they hang up, and then I'm sure they go to the next person looking for a puppy. And if we were talking about Labradors or Weimaraners or German Shepherds or a variance of other breeds, I wouldn't say a word about it. Whatever. I mean, having said that, like, do I think that it's a good thing that a bunch of people are impulse buying puppies right now? Absolutely not. No, I don't. In fact, I am worried about there being a massive influx of puppy. Hey, no, Bella. I don't know what it is. Stay out of it. Bella, out of it. Stay out of it. I definitely don't like, I definitely don't like the idea of a bunch of people purchasing puppies right now that may very well end up in the shelter whenever everybody goes back to work. But there's really nothing that I can do about that. Back off. And it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Now, back off. Having said that, I don't know what's in there, but if she was looking at it, I just want to make sure. Get back. Back. All right. It must be fine because looks fine. Okay. So, the problem that I have with it is everybody trying to get a Corso that way. And, what I've been telling people is this, is that quiet down, no barking, no growling, is that I don't want people thinking that I am trying to take their business. Because the truth of the matter is, almost every single litter I have is sold out right now. And so I don't even have the space to take people's business right now. But what I have been telling people to try to educate them is that they really need to make sure that if they're going to purchase a dog from someone else, that they make sure that the temperaments on the dogs are good. Also make sure that you ask for health testing and that you actually get the results. Okay, do not just take somebody's word for it. You need to specifically make sure that they've actually done it. Having said that, there are so many dogs out there, so many breeders that have bad temperaments in our breed. There are so many breeders that will excuse their bad temperaments by saying that it's correct for the breed, that they're not supposed to be social, that they're not a dog that's supposed to be accepting of strangers. They will misinterpret and abuse the word aloof and try to make it seem like that a Corso shouldn't be okay with anybody but their family, despite the fact that the only dog that actually meets that description is the Fila, which is a Brazilian dog. The Corso is not that dog. No! Blondie, bring your butt back over here now. Get over here now. Move it. Blondie! I don't want my dogs going after my neighbors. The thing about it is that Corso should be like what you saw, right? She's protective, okay? They're not going to let somebody on the property that isn't invited. They are going to protect when necessary. But if you allow somebody in your home, if you bring somebody in your home, your dog should be okay with them and should even be friendly. All of my dogs are that way. You can touch any of my dogs. And it is very, very important that you not purchase from somebody whose dogs cannot be, pet approached, by somebody else. Very, very, very important. There's only one breeder that I know of that I would make an exception for that rule, and that would be Vicky Glisson with Cape Fear Cane Corso. Her dogs, they are in kennels, and she just doesn't socialize them at all. She doesn't really do any of that kind of work with them to enable them to be friendly like that. But I can attest to the dogs that they absolutely can be worked with like that. But there are a lot of people who contact me. I can't even, I would love to compile all of the, in fact, I probably will actually, now that I think about it, I will. And if you have a dog like this, if you've bought a Cane Corso, please email me your story so that I can add it to my list. But there are a bunch of people who have Corso whose dogs are literally a menace to society. They have to put them up whenever company comes over. They can't trust their dogs out around people. I had one lady contact me lately saying that it was only a matter of time before her dog got a hold of a child. And, there's also weak temperaments in the breed. Dogs that are skittish, that are fearful, that are fear biters. And then you have the overly aggressive ones. So temperament is a major issue in this breed. And this is not a breed that you can just call up somebody and say, hey, do you have any puppies? And the truth of the matter is that if you find somebody that does have puppies, you might get somebody that maybe didn't take as many deposits as puppies they had, or you might get somebody that literally is a nobody in the breed, that is a backyard breeder, or a puppy miller that always has puppies, and you just happen to be able to pick up a puppy. I literally can't tell you how many times this happens. Oh, there's Nirvana. Being protective. As I said, they are protective. Savannah's over there cleaning out the backyard and she's doing her nightly cleanup, and Nirvana just, oh, look at her marching over. Not afraid, man, not afraid. 8 months old female, ready to go to war if necessary. But then they saw it with Savannah and it's all fine and dandy. Come on, you guys. Come. Hurry. Come. So, Velocity, cut that out. I tell you what. So anyway, so I just want to help somebody make a possible mistake. You know what I mean? I am not telling you not to buy from other people. I'm not telling you that every other dog out there is bad. I'm simply stating that you need to be very, very thorough in researching and making sure that you're purchasing from somebody who has safe, stable dogs. That's all I'm saying. Make sure that you can interact with the dogs. If they have dogs that are put up and like Vicky Glisson with Cape Fear, then ask the buyer or ask the seller if they have any social media where people post about their dogs. You know, like Cape Fear has a puppy buyers group, and she'll add people to that group that are interested in her dogs. And that way you can ask and you can see other people's dogs, and you get to see how good those dogs are. You get to see them in public settings, and you'll see that even though her dogs are not necessarily social butterflies, you can see that the offspring are fine. And that's the important part. So if you are the kind of breeder that has your dogs put away and nobody can touch your dogs, at least have some sort of method for people to be able to verify that you have stable temperaments in your kennel. Because there are way too many breeders out there that have really unstable temperaments, and they get away with it because they just say, oh, well, you know, we don't want our dogs to be friendly because we don't want people coming up and stealing our dogs, blah, blah, blah. They'll come up with all kinds of excuses as to why their dogs can't be touched, why their dogs can't be messed with or socialized, etc. So, Batista, no. Get your butt back over here now. Batista, come. Now, move. Good boy. So, anyway, so just something to keep in mind. I'm sitting over here talking about protective temperaments, but as you can see, you can call it off. You know what I mean? They are protective. My neighbors are not always out when I'm doing my videos, so they're not necessarily as keen on hearing that, but as you can see, they listen, they do alert, and I'll tell you what, any one of my dogs could be pet, could be loved on. I've taken them all out. I introduced them to people. Hey, Velocity, leave her alone now. Move on. Where's your baby girl? So anyway, so just that little PSA. People need to stop trying to impulse buy. Stop it. Cane Corso, it's not a breed to impulse buy. They're just not. And I literally spoke with a little girl today whose mother's probably going to put their dog down because they thought that all big dogs are alike. They had a Weimaraner, then they got a Corso. Corso got protective, they couldn't handle it, and now they're thinking that they have to put the dog down because no rescue will take the dog, and no trainers, no shelters, no nothing is willing to take the dog because, you know, he's a year and a half, he's already well over 130 pounds, and you know, nobody can handle him. So let's not impulse buy these dogs so that they all end up in the shelter. This could be an absolute disaster for our breed, and I'm really disheartened by the amount of breeders that are selling their dogs to these people. I've seen people on social media talking about how they've had all these puppy buyers and how they don't have enough, and how they're just like, hey, you know, if you have any puppies, just let me know and I'll throw them your name. It's just like, to them, it's just, you know, it's just like money, 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 with absolutely no regard for whether or not these people can actually handle these dogs. So, you know, I'm just very worried about the breed. I'm very worried about an influx in shelter dogs of Corso. And mark my words, in 6 months, I guarantee you there's going to be an influx of dogs in the shelters. I guarantee you there will be. because a lot of these people are just not, they're buying the dogs because of a situation that isn't going to last, right? Quarantine's not going to last. So anyway, so I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope that if you did purchase a Corso recently, that you are prepared, that you did your research, and that you are willing to put in the work, and that you don't think that this is just going to be another big, nice, dog like a Weimaraner or anything else you've had. These are stubborn. These are dangerous dogs if they're not raised properly, and if they don't have the correct boundaries and limitations in the home to make sure that they don't become a danger to themselves or someone else. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk at you later. Bye!